What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl Shelly Nicole with the Remedy Podcast. How's everyone doing? I hope everybody had a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to all the real men out here handling business, taking care of their kids. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to my uncles. I just realized this morning I didn't send half of my uncles a Happy Father's Day. Insane. But I should have just went down my phone list and just done it. Insane. But if I didn't wish you a Happy Father's Day, Happy Father's Day. You are appreciated, you're loved, you're cared for, and we thank you for doing what you're doing, because there's a lot of people out here, a lot of men out here who are not doing that. So shout out to y'all. Hope you guys had a great day, although it was kind of rainy and nasty out here yesterday. I know that you guys, kind of did what you wanted to do most of the time. I think a lot of dads just like to be in the house by themselves. If a game was on, just let them watch the game, give them a beer, some wings, and they're good to go. But if that's not what you want to do and you want to do something extravagant, I hope you did it. So nonetheless, but my weekend was chilled. I went to see my dad. Didn't do much. It was a very sleepy weekend. I was very tired. I guess because of the weather. I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on. Clearly, global warming and such is happening. So, that definitely has something to do with it. But it was rather cold this weekend. I had sweatsuits on. I had a sweatsuit on. And it's June. And my birthday is coming up. Literally next week. Is it next week? The week after next? It's the 27th. So whenever that day is, I think it's next week. Then that is where we're headed. But they said it's supposed to warm up. So hopefully it does, because my plans are sort of planning. I'm like 50% sure that I'm still going to do what it is I said I wanted to do. But if things change, then oh well. So be it. You just go with the flow. I'm not stressing it. But today's episode is about dating for perfection. Chasing perfect. The problem with dating for perfection. So this was something that I saw. Well, I really thought about doing this one because I had seen, I think it was The Game that posted something about stay single if you don't want to spend, I think he said something crazy like, yeah, so what he basically said was, like, fellas, stay single unless you're ready for the every 2-week bare minimum. And basically just ran down the pricing for what it is to take care of a woman. I guess if they're like, because we're a bill, I'm not going to sit here and say that we're not, but basically just saying, like, lashes are $200, hair is $300, nails are $250, toes are $200. I don't know her toes are $200. That's beyond me. They up that price just because of who you are, because that makes no damn sense. Makeup $200, don't know why that's $200 either. Little lunch money $500. What the fuck are you eating that it needs to be $500 for lunch? Drinks with homegirls $500. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. And I don't know what the hell all this other stuff means, but he basically said it also includes no rent, car note, and just a bill to help anything else. My main thing is this, right? I feel like we have gotten to the point where, and I've said this before, where I feel like everything is just superficial. Everything is about money. Everything is so unrealistic. And I think that's where we are, where everything is lacking, and where love and true intimacy and true partnership is lacking, because everyone is just dating for financial stability or financial want. And I feel like everyone is dating based off of how much money you have in the bank. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't want to date a brokey. Understand? We definitely understand that. But I think equaling finances to perfection is dumb as hell. I'm just going to say that. I think it's very dumb. I think it's very superficial for you to say that, well, in order for this to be the perfect guy or the perfect girl for me, they have to have this amount of money in the bank. My thing is this: money eventually goes away. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're stuck in the middle. Money is not everything. It's great to have, don't get me wrong. I'm not no dummy. But to date just solely off of financial gain and financial want, I feel like is really dumb. And not only just that, but I feel like there's a few things too that have caused people to have this perfect idea of what a partner looks like or what a partner is. And these are some of the things I thought about. So when you think of social media, I mean, we all have social media, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. If you have deactivated all of your accounts, I applaud you. I applaud you so much. Twitter, all of them. If you look at social media, you think of unrealistic portrayals of love in the media. That's in movies, that's in TV shows, social media. It often showcases like the ideal version of what love and relationships should look like. Even if you go on Pinterest, right? You go on Pinterest and you put up dating aesthetics or you put up relationship aesthetics, and you see the whole roses and the Birkin bag and the diamond watch and the diamond ring, and you see all of these like expensive, lavish things, and it makes you think that that's what you're supposed to have from your man or the man that you're dating. I'm going to be very honest with you, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. A lot of you don't even put yourselves in those places to even get men like that. That's one. Two, if you've never dated a man who has said money like that, understand, baby, when I tell you, there is a headache that comes with that. Not all, but for majority of them, most of them, I won't say majority, I would say for most of them, it's a headache that comes behind that. All of that glitz and glamour, the nice this, the nice that, he may not be that faithful to you. And again, this is not for all. It's not for all of them. So if it's not for you, if it doesn't apply to you, I ain't talking to you. But if it does, and you know it does, then you know I'm talking about you. That lifestyle can be rather a headache, if I'm being honest. And it may not be something that you really want to deal with. But again, that's like what you see on social media, like even with the push presents. Guys buying their women cars or buying houses or buying all of these, again, extravagant things. And it's just like, you have to be realistic with who you're dating. You have to be realistic of who you have. And 9 times out of 10, that's not who you have, and that's not who you're dating. So why are you expecting that when that's not even your estilo? That's not even what you're really with. This can also then make you feel like you're settling. This can make you feel like if you don't get what you see on social media, if you don't get what you see portrayed on Pinterest and all of these places, if you don't get any of this, then you're settling for the bare minimum. And honestly, I want people to, and not just women, I want men to also understand this too, because, and apparently I'll say this too, there's been a research or a study, I guess, that men are now dating more for peace than they are dating for appearance. And if that's true, I I commend y'all for doing that, because I'm not saying she has to be a 0, but dating solely because of her ass is huge, or she got big titties, or her waist is like 2 inches small, it becomes so like routine. And then I'm gonna say this, they all look the same. They all look the same in the face. They all look the same. I kid you not. Like they all went to the same doctor, or they all showed each other the same picture of what they're trying to look like. Again, do what makes you happy. But at the end of the day, dating for just solely what's on the outside, dating for solely what they just have in their pockets, you're going to constantly feel like you're always on the I guess the losing end, because you're equating what is coming to you versus what you see everybody else having. I'm not saying you can't have what it is you're looking for. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is be more realistic with what it is you're asking for. If you don't even have it, why are you asking someone else to have it? And that's the qualification for you in order to date them. Like a man saying she has to have a car, she has to have her own place, she has to have a job. Okay, well, you have a job, she has a job, but you don't even have your own place and you don't have a car. So I'm confused. You're looking for a chauffeur? Ladies, the same thing. I want him to make 6 figures. I want him to have a car. I want him to have a place. But you don't have that. And I'm not saying that you can't work on that as as your relationship continues to grow. Yes, of course, that's the I think one of the main things that you should want to have in your relationship is seeing each other grow in their career or grow in their development as far as character. But I know people who are with their husbands, their wives, their girlfriends, ones who don't want to get married, that were holding it down since high school, since college, when they didn't have barely nothing. And now they're both driving BMWs. Now they're both, living in a great house, have kids. They started from the bottom. They started somewhere. And then they work their way up. I think the best thing is to date someone who has ambition and who is pushing themselves to get to where they want to get to. Dating for the unrealistic portrayals of what you see on social media, you're going to stay single. Now, I think we all can relate to this, being that the fear of settling or repeating past mistakes. I myself have even had that fear, even when, after my last relationship, I think I've mentioned this, where I just, dated around and try to figure out who was for me and who I wanted to really be with or whatever, right? But what I had to also realize was that I can't hold on to what didn't happen in that relationship. I can't hold on to what I accepted in that relationship. The only thing that I can do is, as I'm going on the dating and as I was dating around, was to put my foot down and have my boundaries and have what it is that I was looking for and stand 10 toes on that. And that's why I have said this before, and I've said this to my friends, where if you're single right now and you're ready to date around. It's fine. Date around. That's the only way you're going to know what it is you like. That's the only way you're going to know what's out there. I personally am an advocate for the dating apps. I do know that they can be sometimes a little creepy because you have some of them on there that just want to just have sex, one night stands and whatever. But personally, I feel like I didn't have a bad problem on BOK. I didn't have a problem on that one. I think Hinge is okay. Hinge has a mix of both. POF, please. It's just a whole bunch of fun on POF. But I feel like Hinge and BOK were the two that I have known some people who have actually are and still are in their relationships and met their person from Hinge and from BOK. And not only just that, if they even didn't get in relationships, they found out so much about themselves that they were just like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I'm okay with, and this is what I'm not okay with. This is what my standards are, and this is where my standards end and where it starts. And I feel like that is definitely something that if you're trying to get in a relationship, you have to date around, babe. You can't hold on to your past or feeling like you're going to repeat the same mistakes. If you have given yourself enough time to heal and to be honest with yourself, take accountability as to where you messed up and as to where you can change and grow, you won't make that same mistake, because you know what heartache is. You know what heartache how hard it feels, and you know what it looks like. So I feel like with this fear of settling or repeating your past mistakes, you're going to make it worse if you're trying to find that perfect person, because you're going to be very like A-line focused and too hyper focused, I feel like, and trying so hard not to mess up, or trying so hard to see every little flaw that they have, that the smallest thing is going to turn you off. And it's like, you're not dead ass. Like, because he crosses his feet when he eats? What? Oh, my ex used to do that. So, like, that's just something that they both did. But I think also too, comparing your ex to your present is also something that you also have to try to refrain from doing. I had to refrain and try to tell myself to stop doing that too, because again, a lot of it is trauma. A lot of it is from, like I said, the past. But you can't hold on to your past and then want to move forward with your future. Listen, you know me, I'm gonna bring us back to Bible. Jesus told, I think it was not Ruth. Was it Ruth? No, it wasn't. No, it was Lot's wife. That's what it was. So this was in Luke. If you guys don't read the Bible, but if you do, you're starting to read it. This was in Luke. I had to look it up because I was like, it wasn't Ruth, but it was Lot's wife. When God was basically warning her about looking back, longing for a life that, she prayed for and that she wanted, God told her to stop looking back, or you're going to turn into a pillar of salt. And Lot's wife, ended up looking back, and she turned into a pillar of salt. If you cannot move forward in your life, if you cannot move forward with letting go of the past, letting go of the hurt, and this is not just for females, this is for men as well, because there are a lot of men who are still hurt and act like they're not. Y'all are just as hurt as women are when it comes to a woman breaking your heart, or fear that someone is going to do you the same way your baby mother did, the same way the girl that you really loved, the same girl that you lost your virginity to may have done you, or women who you have dated that you continue to date, the same woman that you continue to date with a different name, with a different look, sorta, keep doing to you. You keep holding on to that pain and then saying that women ain't shit and saying that men ain't shit. No, there are some men who ain't shit. There are some women who ain't shit. But there are a few of them, men and women, who really want what you want. It's just a matter of finding them. A matter of them finding you. Putting yourself out there and allowing for the interaction to happen. So do not, and try not to, I will say this, try not to let your past be the ending point or the dictator, I guess, of how your future is going to go. Because if you do, you're going to stay in the past, and you're never going to move forward, and you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be in a relationship that you crave to have, that you want. And I know a lot of us women are in our 30s who don't have kids, who have been holding out this whole time, who want to get married, who want to do the whole thing. We're feeling like there's no way possible that we're going to find our person. There's no way possible that we're going to get the person who God has sent for us. But a lot of the times too, I think in this single season, that I have even told my friends as well, that you're learning more about yourself. It's okay to date, but you're standing on your boundaries, and God is also asking for you to get closer to Him and redirect your perspective of things. And again, this is for men too, so don't think this has anything to do with just women. Redirecting yourself as to how you see women and how you see the dating world. Stop looking at every woman so lustfully. Stop trying to pursue the same woman over and over again. Oh, I keep getting headaches. I keep getting the girls that want to keep dating me for the same thing. I'm just going to act like I'm broke. I'm just going to act like I don't have it, because all these women want is their money. Well, if that's all you're leading with, sweetheart, then that's all they're going to want from you. It's the same thing as a woman who sits here and all she ever does is talk about sex. If all she ever does is talk about sex in her vagina and how great it is, All that man is going to want is just sex and your vagina and how great it is. He's not going to want you for anything else because that's all you keep putting out there. But if all you keep putting out there is money, if all you keep putting out there is how good you are in bed, that's all they're going to want from you. Ding dong. The other thing that I definitely agree with is the pressure from society, family, friends of dating someone who just checks every box. And I mean who has the look, who has the status, who has the income, who has the education, what they're driving, how they talk, the whole thing to gain approval and or to keep up with others. I feel like is definitely very true as far as dating with what makes your family happy, with what dating someone who makes your friends happy. Why are you dating anybody who's going to make your family or your friends happy? What do you, are they dating them too? Or is this a one-on-one thing? Or is this like a polygamy thing? Because last time I checked, you were dating for someone to make you happy, for someone to call your wife or your husband one day, for someone who you want to have children with one day. I'm confused. Why are we dating anybody for the approval of your family? Now, I get it because a lot of the times our parents want us to do better than what they did. And again, this is not coming for anybody specifically, but I'm just saying, like, if your father didn't have, or if your mother didn't go to school, your mother didn't graduate college, or if your mother never had like an actual career, or your dad never had an actual career and then just jumped from job to job to job. If you want your daughter or your son to have that stability, which would be you and I, right? To have someone who is more stable, someone who is more financially, I guess, responsible, someone who probably isn't much of a drinker, someone who just whatever it is to break a curse that could have possibly kept going within the family. I can understand them wanting better for you. But if at the end of the day, you like someone for who they are, and even if they are not the same person that, you know, resembles your father or resembles somebody within your household, but they have, you know, they're slightly different. They may not be the most handsome or the most prettiest girl, but to you they are. You think to your family or your friends they could be a 6 or a 5, but to you they're an 8. That's you. That's who you like. That's who you love. That's who you feel comfortable with. You know, if you're making more money than them, whether you're a female or a male, you're making more money than your partner, and they have an issue with it. Well, how are you as a woman making more money than him? That's my career. This is his career. He's happy where he is. I'm happy where I'm at. What's the problem? You can make it work, and vice versa. If he's making more money than you are and you're the female, like, what's the issue? So what? One of them, one check, one salary is going to go to the major things like the mortgage or the rent if you're renting, if you're not, if you don't want to buy a house or a condo or nothing. But if you have an apartment and you're renting, one check is going to the rent. The other one, we're using your check for vacations or to save up or to buy clothes, whatever, however you want to go about it. That's fine. Like, it's okay too if they don't have the education. Listen, the way it's looking, why the hell did any of us go to college? I mean, if you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, you're a nurse, you know, you're an engineer, okay, fine. I'm not talking to you because yes, we needed we needed y'all to go to college. But for everything else, it's like, okay, so what's the point? We didn't need this college education because I have yet to use, what's the damn thing called? Pythagorean's theory. That's what the shit was called. Pythagorean's theory. I think I have yet to use that. I have yet to use anything that I've learned in algebra. I have yet to use anything that I have learned in, I wouldn't say anything. I would say not even half of what I was taught in English. I am not using now. So, again, you have to date who works for you. Stop dating because you feel pressured from your family or your friends. Oh, well, you need to date somebody bad, and you need to date somebody who got this. And why would you date someone he ain't even got that, or she ain't even got this? She looked like that. Mind your business, especially the ones who are single. I can't stand when you have like that one person who has been single for centuries, for decades, and always criticizing everybody's man, everybody's girl. You can't clearly get yourself a girl or a man to be with, sweetheart. Why are you criticizing me? I'm trying to figure out what works for me while you're sitting here criticizing everybody else and what they're not doing correctly. How about you go on a date and then let's critique how your date went after that, shall we? Because I don't understand it. I don't get it. But stop dating for approval from everyone else. It's not going to satisfy you. It's not going to do anything but put so much pressure on yourself that you don't need. You're dating for who you want to date. That's it. The other one that I saw I thought about was insecurity or self-worth issues. And basically that's just like people chasing perfection in their partner to basically like compensate for how they feel about themselves, right? So like if they get someone who they see as perfect, this will validate who they are and like their self-worth, and will validate how they basically feel about what it is that they're doing in life, and what it is that they are put here, like their purpose, I guess you could say, on this earth. If they date someone who is perfect, it's like, well, I may not be this and I may not be that, but at least my girl has this, my girl has that, she's this, she's that, da, 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 da. So I must have did something good. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, but my man has a car, a job, 6 figures. He has education. He has this. He has an 860 credit score. He has that. He has that. So I did good. And make them feel like, you know what? I did something better for myself, without understanding that you're basically talking down on your own insecurity of what you couldn't do or what you chose not to do. Because if we're being honest, like, yes, there are a lot of things that we chose not to do out of fear, out of, probably financial reasons as well. But nonetheless, sometimes dating just because of you're trying to cover your own insecurity or your own self-worth. And the last thing, which I feel like is the biggest thing, is misunderstanding what makes a relationship work. So I feel like many people confuse compatibility with flawlessness. Like, they don't realize that healthy relationships are built on communication. They're built on growth. They're built on compromising. They're not built on perfection. You keep chasing perfect, you're never going to get it. You keep going from one girl to the next girl to the next girl because, oh, well, she eats with her 3 fingers instead of 2. Or she doesn't do her hair every single week, and sometimes she just leaves her natural hair out. So that's a turn off for me. Or he doesn't get a haircut every week, and that bothers me when I see him looking raggedy. So no, I don't want to deal with him. Or when I have a conversation with him, it feels like all he's doing is like listening, but he's not giving me that like just picking small stupid shit. It's just like, are you like, don't piss me off. Do not piss me off. Like, misunderstanding that it's not these little small things. That's just a part of them. That's just who they are. That's not even something that's so it's so minute. Like, why are you even caring that deep about, and y'all can honestly sit here and think that I'm going crazy or I'm talking nonsense, but it's so true. Because even I had to tell my parents this too when they were asking me and my brother, like, how is the dating scene? And we're telling them it's shit, because everyone has this thought of who they're supposed to be with. They have this image of who their partner is, and just because you are under 1 inch under the height requirement for one person, they're not going to date you. Or just because, you know, it's the smallest things. I tell you, it really is the smallest things. But this misunderstanding keeps people from chasing, well, it keeps them chasing something that doesn't truly exist. And I feel like social media has been the best and worst thing that has happened to us. And I've said this before, that we can learn so much from each other with social media. We can get our news, we can laugh, we can joke, we can cry, we can do everything. You can build your self-esteem up from social media. But I also feel like there are times where you have to come out of this, trying to think of the word, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. You have to come out of this circle of perfectionism that social media has put out and come back into reality. Everything is not going to be perfect. Everything is not going to be rainbows and sunshine every day. It's not. If you are looking for a partner who has everything, if you have a checklist of 82 things, and if they have 76 of the 82 things that you're looking for, how are you sitting here saying that that's not the person for you? Now, I can understand you having 82 things and their person only has 5. Okay, well, yes, that person's not for you. But if you're looking for the fingers to, like, all 10 of their fingers have to be lined correctly. They cannot have a busted foot. They cannot have, scars on their legs. I'm telling you, the things that I have even heard, like some podcasts that I've even listened to, some things that I've listened to on YouTube or watched on YouTube, it's just like, y'all not dead ass. Like, y'all not serious. And just hearing what I've heard from other people, and even just me when I was dating, the things that some of these men have asked, it's like, you're not serious. You are not serious. Wanting these women that you see on social media, but I guarantee you none of you can even afford them. None of you can afford them. So why are you looking for that? And it's the same thing for females. You want these type of men, but you don't even put yourself in those type of areas to even meet them. You think by going to the same club that you keep going to, where all of the hood goes to, you're going to meet someone like, you're not. You're not going to meet no one like that. If that's what you're looking for, you need to go where they are. But you also have to bring to the table something else. This whole thing, I am the table because I'm a woman and I'm perfect of who I, like, are you? Are you? Take accountability and take responsibility for what it is you truly do have and what you can bring to a relationship. It don't always have to be money. It has to be patience. It has to be understanding. It has to be compromising. It has to be, it's a long day after work and all he wants to do is come to you and talk to you and tell you what's going on without you bitching and complaining about, well, you didn't take out the garbage. You know how to take out garbage? So take the shit out. If it has to go out, then let it go out. Like, be for real. Don't get me wrong. If he just comes and doesn't do not a damn thing and he does this all the time, all right, you say handle it how you have to handle it. Because we're not cleaning up after no grown person. If they're not helping out around the house, obviously you say what you got to say. But there's plenty of times where I feel like we make the smallest things into these bigger things, men and women, and finding perfection is one of those things. I love you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great week. It is going to be a little warmer this week, so hopefully y'all be at the beach, or well, maybe not the beach. I mean, you go to the beach and it's tan, you ain't gotta go in the water, but the pools or something. Enjoy the weather. I think the summertime is now here to stay. I believe it is. Who knows? We'll find out. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Take care of yourselves. Whatever happened into today, leave it into today. Don't bring that shit into tomorrow. Later, y'all.